Hello. 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 I mean, all right. All right. I think we're straight now. That took a while, but I think we're good. I mean, maybe not. I guess we'll see. Let me know if you can or can't hear me. I'm trying to find what am I trying to find? The chat. Chat. I'm still not 100% sure that this is working. I mean, I guess we'll find out. Right? I mean, I think it's working, but I mean, I also am not 100%. So, right? I mean, I think it's. Guess we'll see. All right, man. What to talk about? What shall we talk about? I mean, we could start. Let's wait a bit. Wait a bit. Let some people hop in here. Caleb Wilson. Caleb Wilson. Man. Let's see if this is working. Not working. Wow, that's like super frustrating. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god, dude. What the actual fuck? Oh my god. Okay. What's going on? Why is this not working? Me in the chat, let me know why it's not. I'm freaking confused. I'm pissed off. This is so annoying. Shouldn't be that difficult. But, you know, of course, because nothing's ever easy, right? God, what is going on? God, what is going on? You hear me? Hear me. Let me know, Champy. Yeah, I know you see that Caleb Love jersey in the back. I know you see that. What just happened? Why did that just happen? Oh, someone's gotta let me know. Someone's gotta let me know if the volume's working. I agree, Arizona's still number one. They're still number one. Bet. Alright. So, few things to talk about. Arizona lost to Kansas the other day. Now, I mean, I am a little biased because I do like Arizona. You know, I like a bunch of teams. We'll put it that way because I don't want to come out and say I'm an Arizona fan, but I like Arizona. So let's say I enjoy. We will talk about Caleb Wilson's injury for sure. That's like part of the reason why I wanted to do this tonight because I was leaving class earlier. I get that notification and I was upset because that sucks, right? Caleb Wilson's one of my favorite players in the country. But yeah, I guess we'll start with that. We'll start with some injury news because Caleb Wilson, I saw someone say it on Twitter that we may have seen his last game in a Tar Heel uniform, which you obviously hope isn't the case, but it's like in this day and age, we see Darren Peterson like barely playing, and we question if he was going to come back and play. And then now, is it Caleb Wilson? Is it in his best interest if he just prepares for the draft? Like, obviously no one wants that to happen, but look, I don't think we know how bad he's out indefinitely, so we don't know how bad this fracture is. There's a good chance it's not even a decision. He's just out the rest of the year because that could end up being 5 more weeks. So I think, we're going to have to wait and see. But I was saying it on Twitter, this UNC team without Caleb Wilson they're pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I mean, they lost to Miami the other day, and their leading scorer was Jaron Stevenson. I believe he had like 13 points. 13 points, you're not going to win many games when your leading scorer has 13 points. And then their guards, like Trimble and Dixon, like I'll pull up the box score, but their guards just didn't do much. Kyan Evans, I think he had a decent game, but obviously you're the number 11 team in the country. You probably should be winning those games. And now without Caleb Wilson, like, I mean, yeah, Derek Dixon and Seth Trimble had 6 points. They were combined 1 for 14 from the field. Like, that's pretty bad, obviously. I mean, yeah, Evans had a decent game. He went 3 for 4, 8 points off the bench. Yeah, I mean, this UNC team, I wasn't a big fan of them before the year anyway, and then, like, even during the year I wasn't. But if Caleb Wilson isn't going to be around, then, like, what are we doing, right? I feel like it might be a long rest of the year for Hubert Davis, and I don't know if he's sticking around if this year doesn't end well. I mean, I'm not a big fan of him, and I don't want to call for anyone to lose their job, but look, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Yeah, I mean, it's just weird. It's weird with NIL and stuff now. Like I said it in my Darren Peterson video. We saw it with Jalen Johnson a couple of years ago, who decided to leave school in the middle of the year and kind of just prepare for the draft. And like it happens. It happens a little more in football, with college football, with people setting out bowl games and stuff. But I mean, I don't know. As a fan of the sport and as just I added a few jerseys also. Hold up. That's mine. That's mine. The Ostroff one. That was my middle school jersey. And then Martini, that's my buddy that played at Rutgers last year. And he also played at Princeton on the team that beat Arizona. So my Arizona fan in here, I'm sorry. I was at that game. That was not fun. But yeah, back to Caleb Wilson. Yeah, like I said, if it's most likely not in his best interest. If we're being honest, that's just the facts. Like, that's the cold hard facts. But I think as a fan, let's not talk about that. Yeah, no, like I said, I like Arizona, so I was at that game and I was not happy. But it was nice to see. If anyone was going to beat them, at least it was them. But yeah, as a fan of the game, it's like you want to see Caleb Wilson, one of the best freshmen in the country. I think he's a top 3 pick in the draft. He'll probably go 4. You want to see him play. But you also got to see if he sits out. I wouldn't blame him one bit. Like, I'm not going to destroy him for that. It's like he's going to do what's in his best interest. God forbid something. And, like, yeah, it's a hand fracture. It's like, what more could possibly happen that's, like, so bad? I don't really know. I'm not a doctor, but like, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I think at the end of the day, it should just be up to him. I hope it's just not like an agent getting involved, like what people think's happening with Peterson. I hope, if he feels like he should sit out, then sit out. But he seems like he is prideful to the UNC colors. It feels like he is. And he's a competitor. That's what it seems like with Caleb Wilson. And obviously I don't know him, but I think if he can come back, he's going to come back. So, look, we'll see. Yeah, so let's talk about the Arizona-Kansas game a bit. I made a little video about it, like directly after, just an instant reaction, and basically what I thought, it's still the same. Like, I'm not worried about Arizona one bit. People think that this, like, the fact that they don't shoot many threes, like that's a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's not, because you take the variance out of play. I've been trying to tell people, like, it's not like they shoot 25 threes a game and make 2. They just don't shoot that many in the first place, where they don't need to worry about missing a bunch of them. You've seen it in games. Against Florida, they made 2 threes. Against UConn, they made a couple. Like, that you're taking the variance out of it when you are scoring 65-70% of your points in the paint. That's just what it boils down to. So I'm not worried about them. And Kansas I'm impressed with, and we're going to have to keep an eye on what happens with Darren Peterson. They're a championship contender, but it's going to be tough to get 6 straight games out of Peterson and just the full squad fully healthy and the continuity. That's what it boils down to. Not even just another injury. What if Wilson comes back from March not totally healthy and then look terrible? Yeah, I mean, that's something else he's got to... Yeah, definitely. I mean, he doesn't. I don't know how far his draft stock could plummet. I don't. I think he could come back, look atrocious, and just based off of what we've seen from him, still go top 10. But going third or fourth compared to seventh, eighth, or ninth, you're foregoing a lot of money, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, I I wouldn't. I don't know. It's a good question. It's a very good question. We're gonna have to wait and see. I'm sure we'll get more news. We'll probably get a statement from him this week. But yeah, I mean, definitely something we'll keep an eye on. And then with Arizona and Kansas, yeah, I mean, we're gonna see Arizona versus Texas Tech Saturday. So Arizona, let's look at. I mean, I doubt there's a spread yet, but Arizona, their ESPN BPI is probably going to be 80% to win that game. Oh my god, I forgot. It's 83.5. I mean, I'm more confident in them even now coming off of a loss. Like I would be absolutely floored if they lose this game. That's the best way to put it. I would be floored. Trying to think. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd be shocked if they lose that, and Texas Tech could really use that win, but like, I don't know. I still think Texas Tech's gonna end up getting a 4 seed just because the Big 12 is so loaded. It's gonna be kind of tough for them. Let's look at some other games before we really preview Saturday. Before we preview Saturday, let's also talk about the Michigan Northwestern game last night, because Michigan, even when they were down 16 in the second half, I was never like that worried about them per se. Like when I say worried about them losing that game, because at the end of the day, it is Northwestern. Like they shouldn't even be in that type of game with North. Okay, so there's a spread. Arizona's favored by 10.5. Whatever. Okay, Michigan. I don't know. It's such a weird. They have such a weird team. I'm definitely worried a bit about their 3-point shooting and their turnover issues. And we saw it last night. Elliot Cadeau got benched. LJ Kaysen played 25 minutes off the bench, and he had his best game of the season. I don't know if that's points wise if he did, but he had his best game of the season. He was a big reason why Michigan won that game last night. Trey McKinney played 25 minutes. He didn't play his best, but he's a stud. Yeah, I mean, Namari Burnett is slowly seeing his minutes go down. Same with Elliott. Elliott's just, too many turnovers. Like 5 turnovers. He had 8 a few games ago. They're going to go as far as their guards take them. You know what you're going to get out of Merez Johnson and Yaxel Lendeborg. I kind of want to see more on the perimeter from Yax. Like, it's kind of nitpicky because he's been so great. Merez Johnson is such a beast. Yeah, I mean, they're going to go as far as their guards take them, and that's my biggest thing with them. And also just, like, the consistency, which I think we're all kind of aware of at this point. It's like, how are we supposed to trust a team that, like, we saw it early in the year, they barely beat Wake Forest, who is having a bad year. And then TCU, who's decent, but, like, probably shouldn't be in that close of a game against TCU. And then you just go on a tear, and you're just beating the crap out of everyone, like, by a lot. And then you lose to Wisconsin at home. It's like, what, like, also before the Wisconsin loss, you go to Penn State and almost lose. So it's like the inconsistency. They could also just go on a heater and win 6 straight games. And, like, what if that isn't the case? Then how can we trust this team? How can we trust Elliot Cadeau? How can we trust Roddy Gale off the bench? Trey McKinney, who, although he's great, he's a freshman. LJ Kaysen is still a sophomore. So, I don't know. I do think, like, I watch this Michigan team, and when they're playing well, they're playing well. Like, they are the cream of the crop in college basketball. I've said it over and over again. But it's how can we trust them? It's the same thing with, like, what I said the other day with Kansas and Darren Peterson. How can you trust him for 6 straight games? Let me know. I'm curious. So, I mean, look, we'll see. We'll see what happens with Michigan. They did end up winning 87-75. They almost did not cover the spread, which would have been super tragic. But I mean, Northwestern almost didn't cover the spread, which would have been super tragic. All right, let's talk about some games this week. We talked about Arizona, Texas Tech. Arizona's favored by 10.5, which is crazy, but I guess on their home court, that's a lot of points. That's a lot of points, but I guess, yeah, I mean, Arizona's got the size to stop Toppin, so I'm sure that's got something to do with it. Also, drop some more questions in the chat. Let's do some questions, some question and answer. I want to talk about this weekend. Yeah, all right. I mean, I'm gonna take. I guess I'll take Arizona's point. I'll take the 10.5. I guess, like, they're so good. What else do we got? I'm trying to pull up the schedule. I know we got Clemson and Duke. Clemson just suffered a bad loss to Virginia Tech, which was not great. Virginia Tech. Shout out Virginia Tech. I mean, they kind of stink, but Hansberry's good. Avdalis is good sometimes. But yeah, all right. Clemson and Duke. The spread's 11.5. Duke. I kind of like Clemson there points-wise. Duke's going to win that game, but I like Clemson on the points in a nice little bounce-back spot. Any games to watch tonight? Not really. It's been a big complaint this year that the scheduling is very just like not great, you know. Yeah, like it's Tuesday. Obviously, Saturdays are loaded with games, which that should be the case. But Tuesdays get very loaded with like Super Tuesday, even Monday, sometimes Big Monday. Wednesday last night wasn't terrible, but why? It's a Thursday night. There's NFL's done. Like, why don't we have a top 25 matchup? Why don't we have any top 25 teams even playing? What? I don't know. Someone's got to explain that to me because it makes no sense. It's like, even like, what was it? 2 Fridays ago, we had Michigan versus Michigan State, standalone Friday night game, and it probably was one of the most viewed games of the season. And same thing on Monday with Arizona versus Kansas, a standalone top 10 matchup. Imagine that game was on Super Tuesday or on Saturday. It would still get a lot of views. It would get drowned out though for sure. So it's like, at some point, I don't know. Why would these teams not want to play on a night like tonight where it's probably the third biggest bar night especially in colleges. Like, Thursdays are huge. And Thursdays, even like in the adult circles, people go out, get drinks. Wouldn't you, it's mind-boggling that, I mean, I gotta look at the best, there's no ranked games tonight. If I look at Division I games tonight, I mean, I'm looking at Murray State against Indiana State. You couldn't give me Baylor versus Oklahoma State tonight. Was that too much to ask for? It'd be funny if they were playing. Oh, all right. We got Oregon State versus San Francisco. How is that the game with the most notoriety? That's ridiculous. Someone's got to do something about that. We need to get I don't know, Jeff Goodman needs to make himself useful and start a petition or something. Shout out Jeff Goodman. No, I'm just kidding. No shout outs, Jeff Goodman. All right, let's keep talking about the game Saturday. So UCLA, Michigan. Michigan's favored by 16.5. I mean, they're probably going to smoke UCLA. UCLA is another one that's just super inconsistent, and that game's in Ann Arbor. But if Michigan doesn't play their A game, UCLA is a talented team. Obviously, Donovan Dent has not had his best year, but he's still Donovan Dent. Bilodeau, Xavier Booker has been on and off. He had a good game recently. Kansas versus Iowa State. Okay, that game is going to be great. Hopefully Darren Peterson plays. If he doesn't play, I want him banned. I want him done for the season because, look, I'm kind of getting sick of Darren Peterson. And this is number 9 Kansas against number 5 Iowa State. This is as good as it gets. I want to see Taman Lipsey, Milan Momcilovic, Josh Jefferson, Killian Torrey against Darren Peterson, against Melvin Council, against Trey White, against Flory Badunga. I want to see all of them playing. I don't want it to be 2 hours before the game or 10 minutes into the game, Darren Peterson gets cramps. I don't want that. No one wants that. God, it's I don't know. It's a little frustrating, but hopefully Darren Peterson plays. Bill Self came out and said, like, listen, these narratives are stupid that he's seeing. Like, yes, he had cramps. Yes, he had a hamstring injury. Like, dude, you don't need to defend the kid. Like, he probably can't stand Peterson, if we're being honest. Northwestern Nebraska, that's a nice little bounce back spot for the Cornhuskers. Hopefully they can get right. They've been on a little bit of a skid. St. John's Providence. Providence has already beat St. John's this year, but that was when St. John's was kind of mid. And Providence is just so bad. I don't know. So give me St. John's in that. I'm not seeing a spread yet. Texas A&M versus Vandy. I mean, dude, like, Vanderbilt gets the weirdest spreads. I've probably bet on their games like 5 or 6 times this year, and I'm 0 for 5 or 6. Like, whenever I take the team they're playing, I lose. And then whenever I take them, they lose. Like, I had them against Oklahoma this past weekend, and they lost outright, and they were favored by like 12 points. So I'm kind of done with Vandy. I do like Tyler Tanner, but I'm good off them. And Texas A&M, I just think sucks. Like, they obviously don't suck, but like they're not doing anything this year. The SEC, stock down. SEC stock down. We have Pittsburgh at North Carolina. I mean, Jeff Capel's got to go. Like, 9-16. I knew they were bad. It was that bad. But with no Caleb Wilson, I mean, they might be able to hang around UNC. So we'll see. Kentucky versus Florida. That is, what should we call that? That is a big rivalry. We got to give it a nickname. I got one in mind. I think everyone has the same one in mind. What do you guys think? Hear me. The Denzel Aberdeen game. Florida's favored by 11.5. Oh my goodness, that is crazy. I mean, I kind of like that. I kind of like Florida in that. Florida's minus 11.5. Wow. Okay. I mean, Florida, KenPom is like in love with Florida. In love. They're like 5th in KenPom right now. And like rightfully so. Their front court's one of the best I've ever seen. Obviously, Chinulu, Hall, Condon. But their guards, man, their guards will. But like, dude, another one, Florida. I had Florida against Auburn the other day, and I hate Auburn this year. I think Auburn is so bad. I've been saying it all year. I think they're terrible. I have Florida against Auburn to win like a pretty substantial amount of money for me. Like nothing like, life changing, but like I wanted to hit it. It wasn't like to win $30, whatever. And not only do they not cover, they lose outright to Auburn on their home floor. Like, what are we doing? That is so bad. Whatever. Florida, their ceiling is very high. Can they get 6 straight games in the tournament? 6 good straight games in the tournament out of Boogie Flandin, Xavier Lee, and Urban Klopchar? Probably not. So I think their ceiling is championship game, and they lose. I honestly think they're a good bet to make it to the Final Four. I think they're at plus 300 right now, but yeah. I would take Florida in that, but that's a lot of points. So I think Florida backdoor covers that. Some stupid stuff at the end. Maybe Olivier Rioux puts a little tip in. All right, Kansas State, Houston. Kansas State is one of the worst teams I've ever seen. I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Jerome Tang, if you're watching this, I know you might be in this live stream, Jerome. If you're watching this, you got to figure it out because I don't know if you're going to have a job next year in Manhattan, Kansas. PJ Haggerty, yeah, the guy's, I'm going to be honest, like, the guy's a loser. He's a loser, all right? Like, cool, you can put the ball in the basket. You know who he reminds me of a lot? He's like a Walmart Cam Thomas. Like, doesn't play great defense, probably doesn't care if they're winning or not. He just wants to put the ball in the basket and score as many points as he can, and, like, I just think that's loser shit. Like, I don't know. It's like, why they got destroyed last night by Cincy. They lost by like 30. Cincy's not good either. The game they sold against TCU the other day, like, you had no business losing that game. I don't know. I don't want to go too in. Like, I do like Jerome Tang. I honestly do. Like, that the tournament when it was Keontae Johnson and Marquise Noel, like, that was one of the most memorable tournament games of all time. When they did he was acting like he was yelling at Tang and he lobs it up for Keontae Johnson. Like, that was sweet. But like this team is atrocious, and they spend a lot of money. We saw last year with Coleman Hawkins; they got destroyed for how much they spent on him. They're spending a lot on PJ Haggerty, and I'm gonna be honest. I hope PJ Haggerty never sees this because I don't know, but yeah, he's a loser. So lost everywhere he goes. Cool, you can score 20 points a game. I was able to do that too in middle school. Peep the jersey up there. All right. God, rile me up. All right, Colorado, BYU. BYU will probably kill them. Colorado's like low-key, sneaky, decent. 14-11. Drop some more. Well, what if there be on Saturday? I think if... Okay, so the question is, what if Darren Peterson misses the game on Saturday and then Kansas destroys Iowa State? That's a good question. I mean, it's not like Bill Self will be like, dude, like, you're done. Like, we're better without you. But... It's a valid question because I think the players would start to be like yo, like we don't even want you to come back. You know, like if they're fully bought in on the fact, which they probably already are, but if they're fully bought in on the fact that they can win this whole thing without Darren Peterson, then I think I mean it would be a bad look. It would be a bad look. Do I think whether he plays or not they are going to destroy Iowa State? No. Is it possible, though? Like, obviously, yeah, it's college basketball. Weird shit happens, but I don't know. It's a good question. It's a very, very good question. I think people would just be like, yo, like, we don't need you. Like, straight up. Like, the fan base would probably start to turn on him, and rightfully so. All right. Colorado, BYU. I'll take BYU. Wait. Am I seeing this right? Why is Louisville playing at Baylor in February? I know it's like I know Virginia's playing Ohio State also. I don't know if that's tomorrow. That is okay. They're not tomorrow, Saturday. But Louisville, Baylor, like sneaky Baylor, like Baylor, dude. I don't know if Scott Drew just lost the sauce, but that Baylor team is nice. Like talent wise, like maybe it's not, but like. Tunde Yesufu is a bucket. And you know who else is? Cam Carr. Cam Carr's a bucket. And Dan Skillings is hurt right now, but Dan Skillings isn't bad. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'll take Baylor in that. Give me Baylor on the money line. Get something going and down in Waco. Purdue at Iowa. I'll take Purdue. I think Purdue's gotten to be underrated after their little 3-game skid. They're favored by 1.5. I've never been high on Iowa. All year I've not been high on them. I think Sturts is cool, like whatever. I'm not a there's people that think Bennett Sturts like should be going top 10 in the draft. I think you're insane and you should actually watch basketball instead of just like looking at analytics. Like if you think if he was 18 years old, maybe, but he's not. Like why the hell would he ever like you're telling me you'd rather if you're an NBA GM, you'd rather have Bennett Sturts than Braden Burries? Get out of here. I'd rather have fucking Ryan Conwell. Come on now. Yeah, I'll take Purdue. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been going in on Bennett Sturts like that. But give me Purdue. Give me Purdue 77-71. I don't know. I could see Purdue killing them. I'm not a big fan of this Iowa team. All right, let's move on. Georgetown at UConn. UConn by death. They will probably kill Georgetown. All right, Virginia at Ohio State. Not at Ohio State. That game is neutral. Let me make sure the Louisville game is neutral also. It's not, but it's in Fort Worth, so it's basically a Baylor home game. Okay, Virginia, Ohio State. This is an odd game to have in February, but, yeah, thoughts on Purdue, Iowa. I mean, yeah, like I said, Iowa, I'm just not a big fan of them, honestly. Like, how you cannot be losing at Maryland in February. And I've said it in, like, all my videos. It's hard to win on the road in college basketball. Figure it out, though. At Maryland, like, come on. They're like, the bottom of the barrel. Like, we cannot be losing to them. All right, Virginia, Ohio State. Yeah, this game's in Nashville. I don't know. Virginia, they're really good, but Ohio State needs this win, and I feel like Ohio State never wins big games. They just don't. So, man, I don't know. I'll take Ohio State in that. Auburn at Arkansas. I mean, Arkansas is another one that's kind of inconsistent, but when they're playing their game, they're really, really, really good. I mean, Arkansas is going to win that, but I can't. They don't. I don't see a spread yet. Gonzaga at Santa Clara. That is a interesting game because Gonzaga kind of sucks. Like, I don't. Gonzaga obviously is, you know, they're Gonzaga. Like they get the computers love them, metrics love them, but are they really as good as everyone thinks? Who knows? So I will take. I think Santa Clara will be a very popular upset pick, and I will join that. I will give me Santa Clara to cover 3.5. Okay, that's enough for Saturday. Let's see if we got any games Sunday before we wrap this up. We do. We have Indiana, Illinois, a little bounce back spot for Illinois, and a game Indiana could really, really use. Give me Illinois. Give me Illinois. Hopefully Stojakovic plays, because if he doesn't, my mind could change, because that Illinois team is not deep at all. Like, they played 6 guys, and they lost the game. And if you're going to take Wagler out of the game, which Wisconsin did not, but it's not a bad strat. And then we have a very good game on Monday, actually. Houston, Ohio State. We will talk about that another time. So let's go back. Last night, we talked about Michigan, Northwestern, UConn, Butler. UConn pulled away. They won by 10. Florida gave belt to ass against Georgia. They won by 20. Virginia Tech upset Clemson. Shout out Virginia Tech. My buddy went there. He said he would be in this live stream, but I don't know. Thoughts on Gonzaga at Santa Clara? Santa Clara has a half-game lead in the West Coast Conference. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be a very interesting game. The fact that it's at Santa Clara makes me like Santa Clara a bit. Like, if that game was at the Kennel, I probably wouldn't be taking Gonzaga, but I probably would be taking Gonzaga, pardon. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, it'd be cool if obviously, like, this doesn't matter that much, but in the West Coast Conference tournament, if a team can win it instead of Gonzaga or St. Mary's and get into the tournament, aka Santa Clara or maybe like San Francisco or another team goes on a run. But yeah, so what else do we have? Yeah, Virginia Tech beat Clemson, Texas Tech killed Colorado. So, all right, yeah, that will wrap it up for now. We'll do more of these for sure. We'll do more of these. I really like doing this as like a little preview. Maybe we'll go live tomorrow, do some more of this, do another little preview. I got the Hennis. You guys enjoyed it. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Drop some comments on what we should talk about next or tomorrow. It doesn't just have to be about the games. We could talk more about the injuries, because obviously it's not just Caleb Wilson. There's other guys that went down. So, a.k.a. Darren Peterson, a.k.a. Kylan Boswell. So, all right, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. CBB Today. Peace.